Hello, my fellow human beings. I'm Justin IT with IT CMD. Today we're going to dive into a very special topic with Bibi Onsori, an anxiety coach who helps professionals end anxiety permanently. You may be wondering, isn't this a channel about cybersecurity and technology? Yes, you're correct. But our mental health is crucial in the cybersecurity and technology industry, where we can feel overwhelmed, overworked, and it can lead to anxiety and burnout. Prioritizing our mental health helps us better serve our businesses, family, and colleagues. In today's episode, we'll explore how to harness anxiety as a superpower and achieve spiritual freedom. Join us to gain valuable insight for a balanced, fulfilled life. I have both. All right, hello everyone. It is my distinct honor to introduce a truly remarkable, insightful, and beautiful human being. Our paths crossed online, and since then, she has a profound impact on my life as well as others. Through her guidance, I have not only learned how to remove anxiety from my life, but also be able to transform into the leader and adult I've inspired to be. Her influence was instrumental in creation of this podcast. She has worked with diverse range of individuals, including business professionals. She challenges and ultimately eliminates the dependency on anxiety, empowering people to reclaim their lives. I want to welcome Bibi Onsori.
Thank you so much. That's such a nice welcome. Probably like the
Very
nicest
well.
one I've ever received.
I tried.
Thank you so much.
Yes. So I want to kind of get into like your background, kind of discuss how you got into the career of becoming an anxiety coach. What kind of led you to that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, for me, it was very difficult. I think same with everyone with anxiety. Initially, I didn't know I have anxiety, but it was more that I just knew I always felt really bad and I always felt really scared and I had like an obsession with cancer. But I thought it's normal. I thought everybody worries about their health this much. And I think that's the sad thing because a lot of people live with anxiety and they think it's normal how much they're suffering because they're used to it. They don't know anything other. But I think there comes a point in your life where you become older and maybe you look at other people and you're like, okay, they're not like this. Because I would talk to people and be like, oh, my back hurts. I have like bone cancer and this and that. And they were like, maybe it's just your mattress. And I'm like, wait, they don't think the same way that I do. So then I started to realize that there's something really wrong, that wrong as in I'm living very fear based. So then I learned that I actually have anxiety. And then I learned that I have actually like a phobia disorder. And so, I went to 20 therapists because I really wanted to heal because my sister didn't have it, my mom didn't have it, my dad didn't have it, my friends didn't have this. So I was like, okay, so why do I have it? I can fix this. Other people don't have it. So it's got to be just either trauma based, it's got to be something within me that's got to be changed or shifted. So yeah, I went to 20 therapists. It was good, but nobody could actually help me heal. And I found randomly this older lady in Vancouver, and I started working with her, and she actually healed my anxiety. So that's when I discovered, oh my God, you can actually heal. Like, what? Because it was always about managing, and so that's why
Yes.
I got into the business.
I like to know what did she kind of walk through with you what tool did she give you to kind of understand that you don't have to live with anxiety? I know myself, before I met you, I
Yeah.
lived with it for so long. I was
Mm-hmm.
driven by it. It was like the most
Mm-hmm.
powerful force in my life.
Yep.
And I realized, wait a second, there's another way. So what tool did she teach you that you were able to teach others in order to kind of get around that? Or remove that from their life, I should say.
Yeah, so I think before her, I did so many seminars and I did so many things that I was desperate to heal my anxiety or get rid of it because my obsession was really like I was a high functioning anxious person, that I was living a very good life. I had an amazing career. I was traveling around the world. So it wouldn't stop me from living, but I was kind of like dead on the inside because I was always obsessing about death, but I wasn't dying, which was actually not death, it was cancer. And so, I did a lot of seminars and things that I took pieces of that, but none of them actually helped me heal the problem. So when I worked with her, she actually told me that it's all mindset and that it's all based on past. It's like it's somewhere along the way we choose that this is who we're going to be or this is what we're going to take on. And it's subconscious. And it's usually from the age 5 to 9, which is very interesting because now when I work with clients, I see actually the decision that they made of who they're going to be is age 5 to 9. And so we went back to that age group for me, and we did a lot of healing work. I mean, my work with her was 4 years. That's when I healed. But as you know, the work that I do with people is only 8 weeks. So then I think I just tailored it from what she did and from everything that I had learned from the seminars to create my own program of what works.
Yes, I remember. Yeah, when I first met you, I was like, who is this person? Who the hell are you who the hell do you think you are? You're not going to
Yeah, I
take
get
my
that a lot.
anxiety from me. How dare you?
I know
I
it's
remember
so
we
random, because
interact.
especially we meet in a way that we don't even know each other. But I'm like, oh,
Yes.
you can actually heal your anxiety, or you're trusting to open up to me, which is it's huge.
I
But
know it took
sometimes I
me a
really feel
couple
like
of
it's meant
times.
to
I
be.
remember it's like 2 or 3 times you reached out to me. I
Mm-hmm.
think the last time I was like, okay, I'm like dry sober, where like you're sober, but
Yeah.
then like I feel there's something more that I need to do to heal. I'm like, I
Mm-hmm.
reached that point of my life. I was like, okay, I can't take this anymore. Maybe she can help me. What am I got to lose? You
Yeah,
know?
and I think like with the tagline that I have, that I help professionals end anxiety permanently, even if you want to do the program or not, I think if you have anxiety, it creates curiosity, that's
Anxiety
all
on
I
the
want
anxiety,
because it
you have
creates hope.
anxiety.
Yeah.
Yes. I know. It was an interesting path. I was like, okay, we'll try this, see if it works. And even going through your program, I was still so skeptical. I was like, is this working? Because my anxiety was fighting me. And it was just like kind of like going back and forth, fighting myself, working
Mm-hmm.
your program. It was like, this isn't going to work. This is nothing. What are you talking about? But as I kind of calmed down a lot more, got my thoughts together, my mindset was changing. I
Mm-hmm.
realized, okay, this is working. I just have to be patient, work what she's having me work, do the steps, and like slowly my mindset just kind of started to change and change and change. It was
Yeah.
like
I
slow
think it's
increment.
normal. People are very skeptical at first. Like
Yeah,
they'll still take the leap of faith. They trust me and they join the program, but they're skeptical. But after I think week 4, they really realize that it's them doing it and they're healing and they trust that they're doing better. So then it
like
just keeps
you're
getting
doing
better
it,
and better after
Peter.
week
You're
4.
doing it.
Exactly.
That's what comes to my mind. And it's had such a profound impact on my life. I know you've had on other people's as well. Because I never would have thought I would have been to where I am now. I
Mm-hmm.
never saw this in like 100 years. So being on this trajectory and this path, I'm like, whoa, this woman has freaking changed my life. What?
That's so nice. Thank you, Justin.
Yeah, I
Yes,
just
like,
have so much amazing love and compassion for you and what you do and what you've done for
thank you
me
so
as well as
much.
for
No,
others.
and it's honestly people like you who help me change lives, because you take a chance and you heal, and then you can talk about it just like on this podcast, and someone else who's watching
Yes.
us, they're suffering, they're actually gonna think, not even to work with me, but they can think, wow, what if I can heal, what if I don't have to live with this.
Yes. And a lot of people get so stuck in that mindset of this is how I live, this is how it's going to be. There's
This is how
nothing
it
else I
is.
can change. It is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But people don't understand that where you are, you can actually go above that and beyond. You must put things in place over time to change that mindset and work with someone such as yourself to kind of help them use those tools and already inside them.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I
Yeah,
agree.
and I think we live in a world that like everything is too normalized now. If like
Agreed.
there's a cancel culture, or don't say anything, you might hurt people. So if you say anxiety disorders are not normal, people get really offended by this. but they're not normal. Like the only normal anxiety is fight or flight, a bear approaching you, like, okay, fine, you want to do a presentation, you're nervous for a few moments, fine, but you can still do a great job. Other than that, if you're living your life in fear or obsession or standing in your, that's not normal.
Yeah, and I thought that was completely normal.
Well, we all
Like,
did. I did too. Yeah.
I got sober. I'm like, oh yeah, I just have anxiety. It's normal. This is fine. I'm
Yeah.
okay with this. And then just realizing that, wow, having anxiety is not normal. I even don't have that word in my vocabulary anymore. So I've
Yeah,
learned from
exactly.
you
I don't have it in my
other words, like
vocabulary
maybe
either. Yeah.
I'm being impatient or I'm overwhelmed, not just anxious, because
That
that's one
makes
of
me
the key
so
things.
happy.
Yeah,
Because
I think back to
it's
that now.
beautiful when people actually learn their true emotions, rather
It
than
is so beautiful.
anxiety.
And like we were talking about before we started, how like I'm in cybersecurity and the
Hmm.
IT world, and the people are like, "What the hell does this have to do with IT
It's
and
huge.
technology?" Yeah, because a lot of people in this industry are very overworked, overwhelmed.
Yep.
There's just a lot of like they're workaholics. They don't know how to come home and disconnect, and then they get
They don't even
anxious.
know
They get
how to
overwhelmed.
disconnect. And overthinking. Overthinking
Yeah,
is a type of anxiety disorder, or perfectionism is a type of
yeah. Who
anxiety
has
disorder,
that?
which is huge. Which
Yeah,
is huge in
I
the
can contest
in the
that.
cybersecurity world.
I agree, and it's just they don't talk about it. They don't see it as a problem. They just think this is how we should be working normally and go through life as, and that kind of leads to like a self-destructing path. You can only do that for so long.
And it's very in the same lane, I would say, as engineers, because I work with
Yes,
tons of engineers, and engineers are all about solving problems and doing it on their own. So when it even comes to anxiety, it's like help is taboo. I can do it on my own. I don't need anything. And just so they keep living with it. And same with the cybersecurity, because you're always helping people
yes,
solve problems and reach safety in a form, right? So it's like people don't, again, take action or think they can get help. They think, oh, I've got this. But anxiety disorders are one
yes.
of those things you can never, ever heal on your own. It's not possible. You can read all the self help books, you can go to all the therapy you want. Like, it takes a very particular professional to know how to heal the anxiety, not to help you manage it. They're very different things,
I agree. I mean, I went through
So,
all of that
yeah,
self
so both
help, everything.
cybersecurity and engineers, they have the mindset of I can fix this myself because I fixed everything else.
You only
But it
fix
doesn't
so
work
much,
that way.
so you
Yeah.
can't fix yourself the same way you fix problems for other
No,
people. It doesn't
definitely. Because there's a
necessarily
lot
fully
in
correct
there's
it.
a lot of blind spots, and you're
Agreed.
always emotionally attached to your own life. So it's impossible to
True
heal
words.
the wounds.
We're too emotionally connected to it.
Hmm.
Yes, I agree 100%. So I was also want to talk to you about maybe more about balancing the mental health in people's careers and everything. What are some things that they can take action on now if they're experiencing all of these things but not sure what to do right now about it, besides reaching out to you?
I think one of the biggest things I see in like the professional world and with careers is how much people attach their self-worth to their jobs, and they sacrifice a lot of who they are for their jobs, and they get lost in it. So I have I have probably three clients right now, who very driven, very successful, but have totally missed out on raising their kids. And now their kids are older and they're looking back, but they were so obsessed with their career and to set goals and to get to their goals. So I think one of the biggest problems is self-worth attached to achievements. And so one of the first things people can do and should do is really cut the tie between these things. Like I saw on LinkedIn that there was one of these article forms that as a coach I would have to respond on, and was like, how are you, if you want to get the next job, how are you going to prove your worth to your manager? And I just
Yeah,
wrote this massive paragraph that, like, you don't even need to prove your worth to nobody. You're worthy because you are. So this question is even ridiculous. You can show your skills and you can show up or do good on projects, or do well as an employee, but you don't need to show your worth to nobody,
Well,
right?
like you said, like how our society looks at it, like how they wrote that article, it just feeds into that so much and normalizes it. People really don't
Yeah, it makes people
understand how to
obsessed. It
think.
makes people obsessed of like, how am I going to show my manager I'm worthy? You don't need to show anyone you're
Yes,
worthy. You're worthy because you are, you know? But people really get tied into that because they attach their self worth to all sorts of achievements, like driving a better car, climbing the ladder, getting validation from their manager. None of these things have anything to do with self worth.
I agree 100%, especially within the professional world,
Mm-hmm.
because people are so bought into, like you said, climbing the ladder, and they're so obsessed with titles. I'm this,
Or like if they
I'm
make more money, they're
CEO,
more
I'm the
worthy.
manager.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like you're a human being before anything. Your job comes second. That's how I've seen it, but I never really realized that clearly until I worked with you more to really
Mm-hmm.
understand the example. I work in IT, but I am not IT. I'm a
Yeah,
human being
exactly. It
that
doesn't
people are coming
define who
to
you
help
are.
with their problems.
Yeah.
Yes. And we are humans connecting with other humans. We just have different skills.
And I think if
And our
people
mindset might
understand
be a little
where,
fucked up.
yeah, like the self worth, it's something that the society wants embedded in people since you're a child. So I think we talked about this in the program that if you're a child and you get an A, you get like a star and you get a sticker, you go home, they take you out for ice cream, and it's like this big celebration because you got an A. But if you get an F, you can't go out with your friends, you get a big red F. It's like your parents yell at you, they put you down maybe. So all of those things. So suddenly right there you attach that if I get good grades, I'm more worthy. If I get bad grades, I'm not worthy. I'm like garbage. But the society wants that because that's how they create the rat race of people
I
just climbing
agree.
and chasing. So it's
I
embedded in brains at a very young age.
I
It's
100%
not
agree
people's
with.
fault, but at some point they have to realize it has nothing to do with one another.
I agree. I know some people do realize it, some don't. Like we
Mm-hmm.
said, they're so that's why with like the how the system you go to school, you don't go to school and necessarily learn things. You go to school so that you learn to go to school. So when you get out of school, you go get a job. You learn to go to that job. You shut up,
Yeah.
do what you're told, and you go back
It
every
teaches
day.
you like routine and it teaches you
Yeah,
responsibility.
but it's doing nothing to really engage in your own life and to
Yeah.
actually have a growth and thriving life. And
No,
that feels like
zero.
it's
I mean,
so
all of us go to
miserable.
school, uni, we do our masters. Like, what do we actually use out of that in real life?
Exactly. Like, so what? We
Nothing.
have this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
It's sometimes it's frustrating because like I work with a lot of them people like that all the time.
mm-hmm.
But just to even have that conversation with some people, it's phenomenal. Others are kind of like, "What? I don't get what you're saying. You're speaking a different language. Get out of my face." But it's
Yep.
just gotta have the conversations, keep talking with people, helping people as much as you can, like you do, and like one just do
Yeah,
one
I think
person
you
at a
also
time.
you have to want to or be open to having a growth mindset. A lot of people have a fixed
Agreed.
mindset. Like, this is who I am, this is how I'm gonna die. It's not getting better. Or you can have like a growth mindset that I can even change the past by healing, and I can change the present and I can change the future by changing me and my mindset.
Well said. Could not agree more. I've
Yeah.
always been a big fan of the growth mindset
Well, you have a
because,
growth
like,
mindset, so
yes,
you're an
because I
advocate
feel
for
like
it too.
if you have a fixed mindset, that's a very dangerous person.
Well, you live a very
Very
sad
dangerous.
life and you're always just existing, you're not living.
I 100% I agree. Well, this has been very fun talking with you. I really appreciate you
You
coming on here
too.
today.
Thank you so much for having me on your podcast. I love
I
it.
know. I never thought I would get to here where I am now. It's
No,
just
and you're
things
so
from the program.
inspiring. I told you from the first week I
Yeah.
saw you, I think you should always be on camera and people should hear you. And um, you're amazing. I mean, you have
Like I
great
know, yeah, I
energy
know I
and
have a voice, but you help bring
yeah,
that voice out of me more to really realize, like, you
to
know
hear
what?
that.
You can do this. All
Yeah,
the
you can
tools
do
and everything has
anything.
been here. The fire's inside.
Well, I can't believe you're actually doing it, because it was like
Me
the beginning,
neither.
it was like, I'm never going to do it, but you're doing it.
This has been amazing.
I love it.
Right? I always talk about it. I get
Mm-hmm.
anxiety around it. Oh, what are people going to think of me? How they're going to look at me? Oh, because of my autism or my anxiety or my ADD, they won't be able to
Yeah.
understand me. All kinds of things I was just surrounding myself with. And there's
Yeah,
just
but
like,
remember how we talked about it? It's never about us. It's always about
exactly,
the
it's
other
about the
person. So who
people
cares
out
how
there
we
who
look and
serve the
sound,
purpose
right?
to help them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Like, I never
Living a
care what I look
purposeful
like
life.
or what I sound when I'm doing this, because I'm like, it's not even about me.
I mean, we don't have to. We have nice white
I mean, we
shirts
have nice
on.
shirts on. I mean, that's we
Oh,
didn't
the
plan
white
it, but
collar.
we're matching.
That was not done on purpose, by the
No, it
way.
really wasn't.
Make sure that we're in sync there. Synchronicity.
Exactly.
Well, thank you again, and thank you all of our listeners out there. And is there anything that you would like to say to kind of leave them with, and also where they can reach out to you if they would like to transform their lives as well?
Yeah, so I think that the only thing I would say is, if you've lost hope and you've been managing your anxiety, or if you don't even know if you have anxiety, because a lot of people, they've numbed who they are. So they think how they feel, like overthinking is normal, or they think how they live, or all their sufferings are normal. But a lot of time it can actually be fixed by healing your anxiety. So I think just being open into having a conversation, that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. I think it's very important for people to know we all have issues. If you're breathing, you have issues, so there's nothing wrong with the person or their past or who they are, but just being open to having a conversation could totally change their lives. I mean, I had the conversation, it changed my life, and every time I work with a client, again, it changes my life. So taking that opportunity, and I think also it's really important when you work with a professional, or if you're thinking about even working with a professional, working with someone who's had anxiety, because you would be surprised on how many therapists you go to and you ask them if they've ever had anxiety. They'll be like, no, I never have, but I can help you with it. Well, that doesn't work.
No, it does not.
No. So it's really important to ask those good questions and to always have a very good connection with the person you're going to work with. If you don't like them and you don't like their energy, you should never work with them, because you'll never heal.
100%. I agree with that. You have to make that human connection with that person.
It's very important, because you're going to be honest with them and raw with them. So, you have to like them in some shape or form.
So a lot of people, I feel, they go to these therapists and stuff, and they spill everything to them, and they're in therapy for years or maybe their whole life, and
Yeah,
nothing changes. They're just pretty much reliving all those traumatic experiences with that therapist, but nothing's changing for them. They're not going
exactly. And
anywhere.
therapy is amazing for many, many things. It's not
Yes.
like we're saying bad about therapy, but I think when it comes to anxiety disorders, no, it's just a band-aid solution. It's not actually fixing the root cause of the problem.
Like you said, there's management, and there's actually becoming the leader of the
Healing,
life
like
that you
not
need.
having it anymore,
Yes.
and understanding what it means to never choosing it again.
That whole saying, anxiety didn't choose me, I chose it. That's how it goes. If people would like to reach out to you, where can they find you in the internet world?
So LinkedIn is my main platform. That's where I'm active the most. Or they can go on my website, which is again on my LinkedIn, but it's theinnerroommate.com.
Theinnerroommate.com. I will be sure to link that in the show notes. Thank you again for your time. We'll have to do this again.
Yeah, of course. And I think one of the main things is, your people can speak to you because you've done it. And so a lot of people are
Yes.
skeptical. So that's a big
That's
part
like
too,
I agree. That's what I'm trying to do within like the IT and cybersecurity community.
which
To
is
kind of help
huge.
people be like, hey,
Anxiety is
I'm
massive
smart,
in
but
there.
I can heal and do these things in a different way. So
And now
yes.
that you've healed, you can totally see how much people suffer from it, right?
100%. I never would have thought. I thought it was just because, oh, I did a bunch of drugs, I screwed my life up.
Yeah,
There's a little bit more to that. A little
exactly.
more nuances there. I mean, hey, it comes down to we're all human beings at the end of the day. We
Yeah,
forget we're not
exactly.
perfect, we are imperfect, and it's okay. We have to be
But
okay
that's what
with that.
also makes us perfect, right? The imperfections, I think.
Exactly. Mindset is truly everything. It can be a
Everything.
blessing or a curse. Which one
Exactly.
would you rather have? Thank you again.
Thank you so
And
much.
yes, and we will talk soon.
Okay, take care.
Bye.
Bye.